Stop everything. If you're on Social Security or planning to claim benefits soon, the next 60 seconds could save you thousands of dollars. February 14th isn't just Valentine's Day this year, it's a critical deadline that will affect your Social Security benefits for the rest of your life. Right now, there's a small window of opportunity to take action, but after the 14th, that window slams shut permanently. And here's what nobody is telling you. The Social Security Administration won't send you a reminder. They won't call you. They won't warn you. You'll simply wake up on February 15th with fewer benefits and no way to fix it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do and how to do it. Welcome back to the channel, where we cut through the confusion and give you straight talk about Social Security and retirement planning. I'm here because I've seen too many people leave money on the table simply because they didn't know the rules were changing. Today, we're covering the 5 critical actions you must take before February 14th. And the 5th one is going to shock you because it's something that's been flying completely under the radar. So let's not waste any time. Your financial future is literally counting down. First critical action: review and adjust your withholding elections immediately. Starting February 15th, the way federal taxes are withheld from Social Security benefits is changing. Currently, you can have 0, 7, 10, 12, or 22% withheld from your monthly check. The new system adds more brackets and changes the default settings. Here's the problem. If you've never actively chosen your withholding rate, you're on the default, which is currently 0%. After February 14th, anyone who hasn't made an active selection will be automatically moved to a new default of 10% withholding. Let me paint you a picture of what this means. Say you receive $1,800 per month in Social Security. That's pretty average for retirees today. Right now, with 0 withholding, you get the full $1,800 deposited into your account. But if you do nothing and the system automatically switches you to 10% withholding on February 15th, you'll suddenly be getting only $1,620 per month. That's a $180 drop, which is $2,160 less per year hitting your bank account. Now, you'll get that money back when you file your taxes if you're due a refund, but can you afford to be short that much cash every single month while you wait? For many retirees on fixed incomes, absolutely not. Here's what you need to do right now. Log into your My Social Security account. If you don't have one, create it immediately. It takes about 15 minutes. Once you're logged in, go to the Manage Tax Withholding section and actively choose your withholding rate based on your actual tax situation. If you typically owe little or no federal tax, select 0 or 7%. If you usually have a tax bill, consider 10 or 12%. The key is making an active choice before the deadline so you're not caught off guard by an automatic change you didn't want. Second critical action: lock in your claiming strategy if you're between 62 and your full retirement age. There's a major shift happening in how early claiming penalties are calculated. Right now, if you claim Social Security before your full retirement age, your benefits are reduced by 0.05% for each month, up to 36 months early. After that, it's 0.05% per month. Starting February 14th, there's an additional adjustment factor being added that affects people born in 1962 and later. This new factor slightly increases the reduction for early claiming. It's not huge. We're talking about an additional 1 to 2% reduction on top of what already exists, but over a 20 or 30-year retirement that adds up to tens of thousands of dollars. Here's the strategic move. If you're already planning to claim early and you're right on the fence about when to do it, claiming before February 14th locks you into the current, slightly more favorable calculation. Let's run the numbers. Imagine your full retirement age benefit would be $2,000 per month. Under current rules, claiming at 62 means you'd get about 70% of that, or $1,400 monthly. Under the new calculation taking effect February 15th, that same early claim would give you about 68.5%, or $1,370. That's a $30 per month difference, which equals $360 per year. Over a 25-year retirement, that's $9,000. Now, I'm not saying everyone should rush to claim early. For many people, waiting is still the better move. But if your health situation, family history, or financial needs mean early claiming makes sense for you anyway, doing it before the 14th gives you a better deal. Third critical action: file any appeals or corrections to your earnings record immediately. The Social Security Administration is implementing a new system for processing earnings record corrections, and there's a cutover date of February 14th. After that date, any corrections or disputes about your earnings history will be processed under new, stricter documentation requirements. Right now, the SSA generally accepts W-2 forms, tax returns, and pay stubs as proof of earnings. After February 14th, they'll require at least 2 forms of corroborating evidence for any year you're trying to correct. Why does this matter? Because your Social Security benefit is calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings. If there are errors in your record, and errors are more common than you'd think, they directly reduce your monthly benefit. I've seen cases where someone's record was missing an entire year of earnings because an employer reported under the wrong Social Security number or because of a data entry error decades ago. Finding and fixing these errors can increase your monthly benefit by $50, $100, even $200. That difference compounds over your entire retirement. Here's what to do. Pull up your Social Security statement and compare it line by line with your own records. Old tax returns, W-2s if you kept them, pay stubs, whatever you have. Look for years where the earnings seem too low or are missing entirely. If you spot a discrepancy, gather your documentation and file Form 7008, Request for Correction of Earnings Record, immediately. Don't wait. If you submit it before February 14th, it'll be processed under the current, more flexible system. After that date, you'll need more documentation and the process will take longer. Fourth critical action: optimize your spousal or survivor benefit election. For married couples, divorced individuals, and widows or widowers, there are complex claiming strategies that can maximize your household's total lifetime benefits. The rules around restricted applications and deemed filing are changing slightly on February 14th in a way that closes a few remaining loopholes. Specifically, if you were born January 1st, 1954 or later and you're married, your ability to claim a spousal benefit while letting your own benefit grow has already been mostly eliminated, but there was a small exception for people who suspend their own benefit. That exception is being closed on February 14th. Here's a real-world example of what this means. Let's say you're a married woman whose own work record would give you $1,100 per month at full retirement age, but your husband's record would give you a spousal benefit of $900. Under current rules, in very specific circumstances, you might be able to claim the spousal benefit first while letting your own benefit grow until age 70, at which point it would be worth about $1,360 due to delayed retirement credits. After February 14th, that strategy is completely off the table. If this applies to you, you need to talk to a Social Security representative or a qualified financial advisor this week to see if filing before the deadline makes sense for your situation. For survivor benefits, there's also a change. Currently, widows and widowers can switch between their own benefit and their survivor benefit at any point. After February 14th, there will be a one-time election rule for people who become widowed after that date, meaning you can only switch once, so you better get it right. If you're recently widowed or if you're currently receiving benefits as a widow or widower, make sure you're on the optimal benefit before this change takes effect. And now for the fifth action, the one hardly anyone is talking about. Check your direct deposit and contact information and consider setting up a backup payment method. Why? Because starting February 15th, the Social Security Administration is migrating to a new payment processing system. During the transition, there have been instances in pilot programs where payments were delayed or sent to outdated bank accounts because the new system didn't properly sync with the old one. The SSA insists everything will be fine, but why take the risk? Here's what you should do. Verify that your direct deposit information in your My Social Security account is absolutely current and correct. If you've changed banks in the last few years, make absolutely certain the new information is in the system. Then, and this is the part almost nobody knows about, you can now set up a backup payment method. If the direct deposit fails for any reason, the SSA can automatically send a payment to a secondary account or issue a check to your address on file. To set this up, you need to call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 or visit a local office. Yes, it's a hassle, but imagine being without your Social Security payment for 2 or 3 weeks while technical glitches get sorted out. For most retirees, that could mean bounced checks, late fees, or worse. 30 minutes on hold with Social Security now is worth it to avoid that nightmare. Let me also address something important. Scammers know about these deadline changes and they're absolutely taking advantage. You might receive calls, texts, or emails claiming to be from Social Security saying you need to verify your information or confirm your benefits before February 14th. These are scams. The real Social Security Administration will never call you out of the blue asking for your Social Security number, bank information, or Medicare number. They won't threaten to suspend your benefits if you don't act immediately. If you get a suspicious contact, hang up and call the official SSA number yourself to verify. Don't click links in emails or texts. Always go directly to the SSA website by typing it into your browser. Now, I know this is a lot of information to process, especially if you're new to navigating Social Security rules. Let me give you a simple action plan for the next few days. Today, right after watching this video, create or log into your My Social Security account and review your withholding settings and direct deposit information. Tomorrow, pull out your most recent Social Security statement and compare it to your tax records to check for earnings errors. If you find any, start gathering documentation. By the end of this week, if you're married, divorced, or widowed, sit down and think through whether any of the spousal or survivor strategy changes affect you. If you're unsure, call the SSA or consult with a financial advisor. And finally, make sure all of this is handled by February 13th at the latest, giving yourself a one-day buffer before the deadline. I want to be really clear about something. I'm not trying to create panic or fear. These changes aren't the end of the world, and Social Security isn't going away, but they are real changes that will affect real people's real money, and being informed and proactive is always better than being caught off guard. The people who do well with Social Security are the ones who treat it like the significant financial asset that it is. For most retirees, Social Security is worth somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000 in lifetime income. You wouldn't be careless with an investment portfolio of that size, so don't be careless with your Social Security strategy. One more thing I want to mention. After February 14th, some of these strategies will be gone, but that doesn't mean there won't be other opportunities to optimize your benefits. Social Security rules are complex, and there are still dozens of legitimate ways to maximize what you receive. If you miss this deadline, don't give up. Just work with what's available going forward. The worst thing you can do is nothing at all. If this video helped you understand what's changing and what you need to do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates on Social Security, Medicare, and retirement planning. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted whenever new rule changes or deadlines come up. Drop a comment below and let me know. Are you planning to take action before February 14th, or do you have questions about how these changes affect your specific situation? I read every comment and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. Share this video with anyone you know who's on Social Security or approaching retirement age. These deadline changes aren't getting much mainstream media coverage, and a lot of people simply don't know what's coming. You could literally save someone in your life thousands of dollars just by sending them this link. Remember, knowledge is power, but only if you act on it. You now know what's changing on February 14th and what you need to do before then. Don't let this information just sit in your head. Take action today. Your future self will thank you for it. Until next time, stay informed, stay proactive, and make sure you're getting every single dollar you've earned from Social Security. I'll see you in the next video.